Hello, ladies. Jody here from Healing Journey. Hopefully, you can hear me okay this evening. There is some construction going on, so I have moved locations, and I'm hoping that the sound doesn't impact today's video. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to cut caffeine out without having it impact your ability to be with your kids, be present with your kids. I know I've spoken to a lot of women in this group, and one of the main motivating factors for addressing anxiety is so that you can be present for your children, for your family in a way that you're currently not, because your anxiety is taking you away from that. And as you know, if you've been in this group for a while, maybe you've heard me talk about caffeine is one of the main contributors to anxiety. It's not necessarily a root cause of anxiety, but it absolutely can impact anxiety. And so if you're somebody who is drinking coffee, or B is trying to get off of coffee, you're gonna wanna tune into this video. This is actually something that I talk a lot about and go in depth in during one of the weeks in my 12-week program called the Holistic Anxiety Fix. So in this program, I really take your hand and walk you through step-by-step strategies of addressing anxiety. And one of the strategies that we talk about in this group is definitely the underlying reasons why we want to quit caffeine. So, quitting caffeine can be very, very difficult for a multitude of reasons. Personally, I wanted full disclosure. It took me about 6 months to get off of caffeine because my body was so addicted to it. And yet I knew that the caffeine wasn't necessarily good for me because I was starting to get shaky when I was having that caffeine. I'd have a lot of racing thoughts and things like that. I also had another client who took a long time to get off of it, but the benefits were incredible when she got off of the caffeine. So stick with me here. It is absolutely something that you're going to want to think about. So, if you're somebody who's drinking 1 cup of coffee, 2 cups of coffee, sometimes I've heard from some of you, you're drinking 2+ cups of coffee today, and you're struggling with anxiety, then caffeine needs to go. I'm really sorry to tell you that, but it's actually going to be upregulating your anxiety response. So if you feel jittery, if you're feeling heart palpitations, your mind is racing, either shortly after having a coffee, or perhaps it's even a couple of hours later, this still can be an impact of the coffee. And part of the reason for this is because some people actually genetically process coffee slowly, or caffeine, slowly. This actually is me. So I might have a coffee, at 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and I'm up all night. I might forget that I had that coffee, but I'm awake all night and I can't figure out why I can't sleep. And it's literally because my body genetically processes caffeine quite slowly. So this may not be an obvious outcome for you. It may not be that you drink the coffee and then feel it right away. You could feel that anxiety a lot later. So let's say that you have tried to, get off the coffee. And if this is you, if you're, drinking cups of coffee, let me know below how many cups of coffee you are drinking a day. I want to know that, okay? So if you're, trying to get off of coffee, also let me know below. Yes, it's me, or yes, I've gotten off of it. Tell me where you are in terms of your caffeine journey. And you're really struggling, you really want to think about going very slowly with this. So one of the strategies that I recommend that people do is they start to incorporate decaf coffee in with a regular morning coffee. So this way we're not changing the routine. We're still kind of allowing you to get up and get a little bit of a hit from that caffeine, but what you're doing is you're slowly over time getting your body used to lower and lower amounts of caffeine by starting with a 1/4 cup of decaf, 3/4 a cup of coffee, 1/2 cup of decaf, 1/2 cup of coffee. And this might be done over several weeks. That is completely fine. So what you're doing is you're slowly getting your body used to it. Now, the question that I got from one of you is, how do you do this and still have the energy? That is a great question. And typically, if you're relying on caffeine to get that boost in the morning, what that means is that your body isn't naturally producing enough cortisol on its own. So typically, we want to have cortisol production be nice and high in the morning. So the body naturally produces this cortisol as we get up full of energy, and then it decreases over the day. So if you are cutting out coffee and your body hasn't, maybe it needs some time to adjust. And if it's not adjusting, then what that means is that you need to look at underlying reasons why your body is not producing enough cortisol in the morning. If you're somebody, maybe there are gut infections going on, maybe there's thyroid imbalances going on, maybe you have exposure to toxins, all of those things are actually going to be impacting your production of cortisol in the morning. So if you're cutting out that coffee and you're finding you're dragging your butt, then you really need to dive deeper. And this actually was, a question that a client gave me in one of my private membership programs where I support people in my membership. And she said, I've done a lot of work around my morning routine. I go to bed the same time every day. I get up early in the morning. I've changed my diet and I'm still exhausted. And so you really want to be diving deeper into what is preventing your body from following that natural rhythm. And deeper infections might be one of those reasons. This is definitely one of the ways for you to get rid of coffee and caffeine, and B, understand that if you're still struggling in the morning, then you need to dive deeper into why your body is not naturally producing it and why you're relying on external sources to, mitigate your energy level in the morning. So if you have any questions, as always, write them below. If you'd like to know more about the Holistic Anxiety Fix, how I can take you through this incredible journey to getting the root cause of your anxiety, then private message me or message me below, and I will set up a complimentary call to share more information. Otherwise, take care.